Hey guys, if you are new, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and ding that bell, that way you are notified for future videos since I'm not really able to upload consistently. Today I'm going to be trying out the new Tarte Shape Tape foundations. I actually got one of each formula. I got matte and I got hydrating. Other than what everyone is saying about the lack of shades, like that's a given, everyone's talked about it. Obviously I'm not down with that either, but I am also not down with the fact that they have different shades for each. Like you can't get light, medium, beige in both. You have to get a different shade. So instead of just picking two that are the same shade, you have to figure out what your shade is in each one. So for example, in the hydrating, I am light, medium, beige, and in matte, I am light, medium, neutral. And let me just show you what those look like. This one is obviously darker and this one is obviously lighter. This one is in the light medium beige and this one is in light medium neutral. In most foundations I am a beige and that's because it's usually like a neutral undertone. I have a neutral undertone and so I have to obviously find foundations that are of neutral undertone, but the light medium neutral looks more yellow and the light medium beige, which is the hydrating one, looks more pink, more orange. So I've seen everyone do half and half and everyone always looks ridiculous. One side is always looking darker than the other side. So I am actually going to mix the two to create my perfect shade. Everyone says that the matte is super high coverage and the hydrating is like light to medium coverage and buildable. This one's not going to be full coverage. It's more like a medium coverage once you build it up. I wonder also, since I'm going to be mixing the two for hopefully the perfect shade, I'm wondering if that's going to create the perfect foundation. We'll see. So if you're interested in finding out how this works out, then just keep watching. So let's first find out how different they are. I first want to mention I actually do not like this doe foot applicator. I get that they're wanting it to look like the concealer, but this just does not seem sanitary to me. By putting this all over your face and then dipping it back in doesn't seem sanitary. I would much prefer a pump. I actually don't even like doe foot applicators for things that go on my face, because like the concealers and everything too, because then I'm just putting oils from my face into the jar and yeah, I just not a fan. So here I'm going to show you the color differences of the two. The top shade is the hydrating shade and that is the light medium beige, and obviously it is darker, and then the bottom one is the matte and that is the light medium neutral. That's more of my skin tone but still too light. The other one was going to be too dark, so those are the two differences. Let's see if I can mix them to get the perfect shade. There it is mixed. It's still a little bit too pink, so I think I might add a little bit more of the matte, which is great because I am more on the combo, more natural, a little bit oily. I'm gonna try to mix in a little bit more to see if that'll create the perfect shade. That is looking pretty good, although I did see Manny mention that this oxidizes quite a bit, and it did oxidize on his face quite a bit, so I'm hoping that this is not gonna oxidize and make me look orange. So let's try this out. So this is basically like 75% matte, which is the light medium neutral, and 25% of the light medium beige. That might be pretty good. I'm gonna put a little bit more of the matte one because I want to see, feel like it's going to oxidize for sure. That's with a little bit more of the matte. Oh my gosh, it's totally oxidizing already. Okay, so I did one dip of the hydrating and 4 dips of the matte, and we'll see how this is gonna go. Really hope it doesn't oxidize because I don't really feel like redoing my makeup. Steven and I are supposed to go on a date tonight and I don't feel like spending a ton of time redoing my makeup. This dries really fast, the matte one does at least. Put on a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's looking a little cakey around my mouth and in between here. I am going to do the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back and give you more of my thoughts. So I finished the rest of my makeup. The makeup went on really well, but like I said, it does seem a little cakey around my mouth and on my chin. I do have some blemishes here and here that are drying up, and so that might be part of the problem because up here kind of looked a little funky as well, but not as bad as around my mouth. It feels like I have quite a bit of makeup on, but it is full coverage even with the two mixed, because obviously I had mostly matte and less of the hydrating. The hydrating color is way off for me, which really sucks because there isn't really a very good neutral light medium shade for the hydrating foundation. So maybe it would be more of a light. Maybe I should pick up a light instead. I'm not sure. But the matte on its own would have been way too light. So, I mean, I really hope they get in some in-between shades as well, because not only do they not have enough shades to allow everyone to have this foundation, I don't know why they chose to launch already when they could have just waited. Like, everyone would have been totally fine with that until they had all the shades that they wanted to have out for the line. I don't understand. People would have been much happier if they did that. It just blows my mind. And then they had some statement about like, oh, well, shades come out seasonally because as you get darker in the summer, your skin tone changes. And it's like, what? Like, there are always people in the in-betweens and that are really dark or really light. Like, that statement was just so ridiculous. Back to my face. It feels dry, again, because I'm using more of the matte, and kind of itchy a little bit, like especially down on my chin. Maybe that'll go away as my oils start to come in and mix with it. I am going to spritz my face with some setting spray just to see if maybe that'll help it a little bit. It's still looking cakey around here, all in this area. I did use the Tarte Shape Tape concealer under my eyes. Honestly, I kind of wish they would have just taken the Shape Tape concealer and just put more of it in a bottle, because that stuff is actually good. Like, it looks a lot better on my face than this foundation does. Anyway, I am going to come back at the end of the night and kind of let you know how it's been going on my face today. I will get back to you when I come back from our date. Hey guys, so I want to do a check-in really fast because I want to show you in daylight how much this has oxidized, and of freaking course you can't really see it in this video, but so down here, I didn't take this all the way down my neck, but I did take it to about here, and I don't know if you can tell, but around here is where it stops, and it's definitely oxidized throughout the day. It's also, like, my face is pretty oily, and that may be because I mixed the two together. This is not my bronzer on my neck. This is definitely the foundation. Okay, so I've had this foundation on for about 7 hours-ish, and I'm gonna zoom you in so you can really see what I see. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but like down here is kind of cakey around my mouth. Like I said, is kind of cakey. It's kind of settled into my pores a little bit around here, and I believe it's transferring a bit right around my nostrils and down here. It has transferred onto my glasses, so now I have little glasses pad marks, and I am oily. It does seem to be clinging to some dry patches up here. Like I mentioned before, I do have some acne that's kind of drying up here, and that doesn't look great. It's just like gathering and looks a little strange. Like I said, I've got glasses marks right there. Some of the foundation has rubbed off around my nose right here. It's gathered in my nose creases. That normally doesn't happen to me. I don't have like really deep nose creases. And then this whole area looks really cakey. It also has come off of my nose a bit. It looks really bad in my smile line right here, and I never deal with that, like ever. It just doesn't look good. I don't know if it's because I combined the two foundations together, so I don't know. I might try them separately. I might also try to find a better shade. I'm going to return both of them. That's been decided. I'm going to return both of them to Tarte. I'm just going to wait for them to come into the store and hopefully find a shade. As of right now, I don't recommend this foundation to anyone, especially the matte one. It's just, it doesn't look good on anyone. It just ends up really flopping by the end of the day, and even when you put it on, it looks cakey and settles in, and I don't know. I did my normal primer. I did my Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm because I wanted to give it a fair chance for what I normally do. I'm not a fan. I hope this video has helped you decide whether or not you should purchase the Tarte Shape Tape. Like I said, it does oxidize, so maybe take that into consideration when you're going to go purchase the foundation. Anyway, that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and remember to ding that bell, that way you are notified for future videos. Bye guys!